Let me start recording. Okay, so I'll be instructor for QA. So I'll be, explaining, um, you know, various topics. So, I'll just give you an idea of syllabus, like what I'll be covering on. And I hope everyone has got the syllabus, right? QA syllabus. So if you have not received it, you can request me. You can request me at my email ID. That's like manu@itamerica.com. Okay. So I'll send you. Okay. So you'll have this, or what, actually moving forward you'll also not require this, because I'll be giving you access to a lot of information, so you'll be having all this anyway at one point. Okay. So let's go through pretty quick what are the topics that I'll be covering and what we'll be working on. Okay, so first and second class, so I'll be giving you an introduction on various types of testing. So what exactly what are the various testing we'll be doing? Okay, so it's not necessary we'll be using all this at once, but it you may use few of them in your project, like maybe random, we don't know what kind of testing we'll be using, but it's good to know. It's good to know, because you never know what the client expects from you. They suddenly tell you, okay, start doing this, start doing that. You have done this, good, do that. So it will be pretty much random. Okay, so that's the reason you need to know all these various types of testing. Okay, that's the various types of testing I'll be explaining. And don't miss the second class, because this is how I'll tell you how to take a defect. Okay, so as a QA, right, as a QA tester, as a QA analyst or QA engineer or software tester or software analyst, you need to know what to open defects, because that's that's our job. That's what we do. That's what we need to do always when you're working on. The coordination part, of course, you'll be coordinating with the lead, coordinating with developers, coordinating with your boss, coordinating with project managers, that's fine. But when it comes to your job, right, you need to know what you are doing, and you need to know what exactly you are being told and what you are actually doing. So that's the second one we'll be doing in functional testing. So I'll show you how you open a defect in a web application. You can do that same in client application. So we'll go in detail web and what client. Okay. So don't miss second class. That is tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. And then third and fourth class we focus on a rally tool. So what is a rally? It's a test management tool. Okay, so I'm actually muting it because some people might have some issues. So if you have any questions, just you can just ping me. Okay, so there's a chat box, you can ping me. Okay. Okay, so so I'll explain you on rally. So what's a rally? It's a test management tool. What's a test management tool? So here what you do is, let's say you found a defect and it gets approved from your lead. The lead says, okay, go ahead, lead given a green flag and go ahead, open this issue, right? Now you want to write. Okay, before doing that, you need to also do the writing the test cases, executing the test cases, all those things. So all these things you'll be doing in this tool. So I mean, this is one tool. You might use that pretty list of hundreds of thousands tools, but here at IT America, I'm actually teaching Rally. So I'll be also giving you information on not just Rally, HPLM. We'll try to cover that HPLM. That's Hewlett Packard Application Lifecycle Management. All right, that is okay. I mean that is a little bit obsolete. I mean it's really going to obsolete at one point of time. Of course, goes to obsolete. This Rally is good in Agile, because we all moved to Agile, right? Agile is it's really it's actually more into the market. So, and I will also give an introduction on Jira. So 3 test management tools. You don't have to know all the 3, but it's good to know because you're putting in your resume so that you need to have some idea, some knowledge. Okay, so that's the reason. I'll be giving you some introduction on that. So 5th class, we'll work on this. Confluence. Confluence is a SharePoint where actually let's say your lead has given some job for you. Okay, why not upload your test plan in that? Okay. Now once you have done all this, you need to upload that. So I'll show you this. I'll not go in detail, but we'll just cover what is these documents, and I'll give you homework on this to how to access this SharePoint, and I'll be giving you access for that. Okay, so I'll be giving you access for this Rally too. Rally will have access SharePoint. Confluence, Confluence is actually SharePoint. It's just Jira's name they give it Confluence, but it's actually SharePoint. Okay. Then we'll go to various documents. So this is required. Either you work in Agile, you work in Waterfall, you work in helical model, whatever methodology you're working on, whatever methodology, maybe you have invented your own methodology, I don't care. But this documents remain same. So this you need to know because okay, in Agile they're trying to eradicate this documents, but really it's not that easy to remove all these documents. Still you need to know these documents. Okay. Then we'll go to SDLC, that is software development lifecycle. What is it about? From here we start various methodologies. So why we need to know this methodology is basically the management perspective that they want you to know because you are working in that environment. So this is not something like a software, this is not, no, give me the access, I'll work on it. It doesn't work that way. This is kind of environment, the thing which surrounds you, and you need to work in some kind of constrained environment. So that's the reason, you have this SDLC. Okay, so it's software development lifecycle. Then you have STLC, software testing lifecycle. Then you have bug lifecycle. We'll go through all this, and this waterfall will go to introduction on waterfall methodology and a few of those other methodologies. And I'll take 6th class for one complete class for Agile methodology. We'll go to various terminologies. What is this Agile all about, and what is the terminology? And so by this time you'll be having pretty good idea and pretty good knowledge on what we are working on, what it will be. Then we'll go to one more test management tool here for your for your information, like if you want to know more, I want to know one more tool, I will be giving you access for this too. Jira, okay, so Jira, and then HPLM, we'll go through this. If you want access, you can request to Tagore. Okay, so I'll go through this and we'll have some introduction on this. In 9th class, we'll go to QTP. So why this QTP? Because I wanted to let you know, because sometimes you need to be not sometimes you need to be flexible every time. Flexible. So what do I mean by flexible? That means, let's say you have a project, QA analyst, but they require QTP. Now you need to keep your options open. No, I only know QA. I cannot go on QTP. No, I don't know. So that's you're losing an opportunity, right? You're losing a chance given for you. So that's the reason, right? If you're comfortable with 2 things, QA and QTP, you will be having a better opportunity to get a project. My point is you need to be flexible, right? If you're flexible, it's good for you, right? Let's say you went to work, you were hired as QA tester, but they never told you that you need to do QTP. Now suddenly they have told you, okay, now do this. Now you cannot tell them, no, I don't know QTP. Now that's not a good idea to tell them right away. So that's the reason, right? Just get some idea on QTP. And I'm not going too deep We are not covering whole automation tester, no automation architect, no, we are not doing that. We are not going deep into coding. Just will have some ideas so that even if you have opportunities on QTP, QA, automation, load runner, you can just try that and you can go through it. So keep your options always, be flexible. That will be good for you. Next 10th class will learn. Okay, so this is the certification part. This I strongly recommend you. I mean, it's up to you. This is to get certified, right? And this is not like ISQB or something like that. It's just a free, sit at your home, just have an internet connection, just use this. It's free, you don't have to pay penny. Of course, you need to pay your internet bill, right? And without internet, you cannot access. So, yeah, except that it's free, and you can get a certificate. And why I'm putting more concentration on this, because it leverages your resume, okay? Because there's a lot of resumes people get, and the question, the first and foremost question they have in their mind is, why hire you? I have plenty of 30 resumes. Let's say a client has 30 resumes. Why am I supposed to hire you? Why I should hire you? So that's the reason, right? If you have certification, that leverages your resume to come top, so that okay, I have this certification from MBA. I have software testing fundamentals, or I have certificate. If you want, go ahead and give them certificate, print a copy, and you can take a look, or you can keep the copy yourself. That we have this certificate. So that's the reason I will strongly emphasized on this certification part. And it's free, completely free. Just it takes some of your time. So this is what we'll be going through. And of course, I'll be also giving one more, that is Team Foundation Server. We'll just go through this. We'll just have a glance on that. That's one more test management tool. So basically 4 test management tool: Rally, Jira, HPALM, and Team Foundation Server. Okay, so you will be using only one out of this. Okay. Okay, so I'll be speaking a little louder. Yeah, I know it becomes a little bit slower. Okay, so I'll be a little bit louder so that you can able to hear. Okay, so so I'll be giving you information on 4 test management tools, but you will not be using all the 4 in the workplace. You'll be either one or none of the above. Because thing is, you need to get used to the process. Why I'm giving introduction on one test management tool is to get used to the process, not the tool. See, if I explain here Rally. Get comfortable with Rally, but don't get addicted to this. If you say, no, I know only Rally, I don't know Zephyr. So, the client place, or if they ask, okay, no, we use Zephyr. So, are you comfortable with that? So, what you need to say is, right? What you need to say is, yeah, I'm pretty much, I'm comfortable with Rally. I don't think it's a big deal to know another tool. I've used a lot. I've used to report test cases. I've done a lot of, executing the test cases, reporting bugs, coordination with the developer. I don't think it is a big issue to know Zephyr, and this is the way you need to talk. Because if you say outright at that point, we are using Zephyr, we are not using Rally, so are you comfortable with that? If you say no, then chances are they may not hire you. Simple reason, right? If you say so if you don't say outright anything, no, you don't say this. You need to tell them that, yes, I know how to use this. Seeing this, I can use that. So that's how you have to give an explanation, saying that it's not a big deal. I've used so many tools. I know Rally, I know HPLM. I don't think it's a big issue. I can, work it out. That's not a big issue. And, I'm looking forward to work with you. So that's how your explanation should be. Okay. Any questions so far in the syllabus? So that was about syllabus. We have 15
Yes,
minutes.
but there is some disturbing. Your voice is like breaking, and we can hear properly. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, this is actually a lot of issue actually. Okay, so let me, okay, so if I speak louder, that should help, right? I mean, I'll be speaking louder.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's not a really problem. So sometimes it comes really loud, and sometimes it's really mute, kind of. It's going down, and so that kind of problem. So everything else is good.
Right. Okay, so, okay, let's move to the, various types of testing. So, we'll go in detail of each and every, parts of testing. So, this is, let's go, one by one. So we have already used 15 minutes. Okay, so
Okay.
black box testing. Okay, so black box testing. So here, this is high level testing. Okay, this is a very high level testing and is done by the testers and not by the programmers. Okay. So, let's quickly check. Internal system design is not considered in this type of testing. Tests are based on requirements and functionality. So, in short, if someone asks you what is a black box testing, so you say it's a high level testing, okay, and done by the testers, not by the programmers, and is based on requirements and functionality. So that's a black box testing. So why it's a high level? Because black box testing contains sub-testings like functional testing, integration testing, system testing. All these testing are included in this black box testing. So your boss just cannot say to you, okay, did you complete black box testing? And you know what? They will tell you, okay, did you complete black box testing? So now you need to give them an explanation that black box testing is not done at the individual level, it's done at the team level. So black box, why? Because there are various, sub-level testings are included, like system testing, functional testing, all those are included in the black box testing. Hence, we need to do it in a team. So it cannot be done with the individual level. So, that's the way you need to answer when someone asks you. Okay, so let's, based on the requirements and functionality, let's quickly check. This. I hope I don't require this. Okay. So, what is the requirement? So, requirements are, it's normally a document. So, it can be a document, or it can be a multi-word from business analyst saying that, okay, this should be tested. This functionality should be tested. This is a new feature we included. Right, this is a new feature we included, and you need to test this, and that is the requirements. Okay, so normally it will be in a document, or it will be in a simple line statements. Okay, and functionality is like any feature on an application, any features. I would say, let's say, so we'll go in detail with this. So I'll not go much detail, just, so any feature in an application, let's say this google.com, everybody knows what's Google. Okay, so it's a web page, right? This is a web application. So this is a web application. Why web application? Because we are opening this application in a web browser. So that's the reason, we call this web application. There's a client application. Why? What is client application? Client application is something which is installed in your system. Go to control panel, install, uninstall. That's called client applications. So here, whole our classes will be on mostly on web application. You can relate same to the client. It's not really too different. Okay, yeah, I mean, right. So so we go through all the web application. Okay, so web applications mostly will be working on web application. So what is the functionality? Functionality is any feature on an application. So anything can be a functionality. Okay, so is this a URL? This is a functionality. This but okay. This URL click button. This is not exactly buttons. Okay, this app. Google Apps. This is also functionality. So anything which is clickable. This image. Okay, this is a functionality. So we go in detail with this functionalities. What exactly functionalities are. Okay, so here is saying, so black box testing. What is black box testing? So I'm repeating this. See, somebody from previous class. So I collect my performance review. So somebody in the previous class told me that I'm repeating too many times. The only reason why I'm repeating too many times because there are too many people from different background. They may not understand completely. They might be okay. You guys might be a computer science background. You might be good. But people, not everyone. I guess not everyone are computer science, right? So you may not grasp that very quickly. So that's the reason I repeat more than once. If you have problem with that, let me know. I'll stop repeating. Okay. Okay. So black box testing is a high level testing done by the testers and not by the programmers. Okay, and it is based on requirements and functionality. Okay, so that's a black box testing. So let's move to the next one, white box testing. So in this testing, it is so whole internal logic. This is based on whole internal logic of an application code. Okay, also known as glass box testing. Okay, good. And you need to know all the code of this code. I'm sorry, of this application. And so that's called white box testing. Okay, so to sum up, here's the thing: white box testing is done by the programmers and not by the testers. It's a high level testing. Let's go through pretty quick. How does that white box testing looks like? So let's let's go to Amazon.com. Okay, and here go to more tools, developer tools. Okay. So here I want to troubleshoot any code here. So let's say the QA guy has opened some issue, right? I want to troubleshoot some issue here. So I want to go through this code, okay, and I want to figure it out. Let's say you have this issue here, and you want to. So that's called white box testing. Why? Because here you need to have the knowledge of this code. So you see this lot of code, HTMLs, a lot of things are in here. This is there is a HTML. There's a if there's a video here, there will be a Flash player, or and there's a JavaScript here. So a lot of things are involved in this. Just one page. It's just one page and a lot of things. So that's called white box testing. Okay, so that's not even white box testing. Okay, so again, because white box testing is high level, again, it consists of unit testing, integration testing, all those testing included, then it is called white box testing. For all those testings are included in one, then it's called white box testing. Okay, so this is done by the programmers because they need to know all this code, which loop is going where is the where is which script, all those things. So you see this, all this. Okay, so this is a job of a programmer and not by the testers. Okay, so that's called white box testing. White box testing is a high level testing done by the programmers, not by the testers. Okay, and it is also called as glass box testing. Why? Because internal logic of an application code should have been known. So without that, you cannot do white box testing. Okay. Any questions in this two, black box testing and white box testing? Okay, so let's move to the next topic, unit testing. So unit testing, okay, so this is the sub part in white box testing actually. So this is, okay, so this is also done by the programmers and not by the testers. Why? Because, you know, again, you need to know the internal logic of an application code. So let's say this is a code, and you are troubleshooting in, you know, in unit. So unit is some loop. So let's say there's so many loops, right? A loop inside a loop. So you are just, you know, trying to troubleshoot some loop inside here. So that's called unit testing, because you're not testing whole the core at once. You're just testing one loop in that 10 loops. So that's called unit testing, because one unit, okay, that's you're only testing one unit. So that's called unit testing. Okay, so let's see here what is here. Testing of individual software components or modules. Okay, and you know, it's done by the programmers and not by the testers. Why? Because you need to know the detailed knowledge of internal program design and code. Okay, so that's called unit testing. Okay, just go, you know, you just look into the code, which code, you know, it belongs to you, because a lot of people say, when you're in the project, you're not the one guy. You know, you are working with so many developers. You're working with, you know, a lot of architect people. You're working on, you know, testers. You're working on project managers, managers. A lot of people are working on. So you are, if you have got this code, if you're working on it, you are not the one guy who will be working on it. With this one application, there might be like 3 to 4 developers who will be working on. One might be ETL developer, one will be web developer, HTML developer, so on. Okay, so a lot of people will be working, and your job might be just, you know, to make sure this, to, you know, troubleshoot this unit. Okay, so that's called, you know, unit testing, because it's done by the programmers. Okay, typically done by the programmers and not by the testers. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Any questions? So let me know, just ping me if you have any questions. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. We have like integration testing. Okay, before that, let's go to the functional testing. So this is what, you know, our job is. So this is what we'll be doing as a QA, as a software analyst. So we'll be doing functional testing. Okay, not that we'll not be doing all this integration, and we will be doing this, but that is the later stage. Okay, but important part of our whole QA is functional testing. Okay, what is functional testing? Functional testing is to, you know, to test the functionality of an application. Okay, what is functional testing? To test the functionality of an application. So we'll go detail into this. Okay, what is functionality? So, you know, what is the functionality of an application? So as I told you before, functionality can be anything. Functionality can be URL, functionality can be image, just like, you know, this URL, google.com, this image, this is also functionality, but this is not clickable. That's a different story. And this, what is this edit box? You can type, you know, hello, good. So is this edit box working? Okay, you want to test that. And these buttons, okay, so this is not exactly buttons. This is the button, Google search button. Okay, is this button working? Okay, so this is not really supposed to work, because when you don't enter anything in this edit box, you know, that's the reason this is disabled. So this is not really bug, but it's just a, you know, the feature which is by Google, which, you know, happens to be that it doesn't work because you didn't type anything here. Okay, and this button, this is random rolling on button something. Okay, so this button, this is also featured. So all these are features of an application, and this, all this footer, you know, you have this footer of the page, right? Settings, terms and conditions, privacy. Are these URLs working properly? You know, do you want to make sure this should be in the same page or different page? Okay, so we cannot fetch data. I don't know what is that about. Okay, so that is a functionality. Okay, so that is a function, and as the functional tester, as a QA tester, we need to test everything in a web page. So you are not going to ask to your lead, okay, you know, let's say you got an application, and you're not going to ask, okay, what do I need to test? It's your responsibility, your job to test everything. Okay, everything in sense, whatever it's in the requirements, you need to test, and whatever it is assigned to you. Everything doesn't mean like, you know, everything what is there. Everything means whatever is assigned to you. How much it is assigned, that much you will need to test. But and if it is on one page, so you need to, you know, see that whole page is working or not, right? So that is functional testing. Okay, so let's go a little bit more detail in this functional testing. Let's go to the Amazon.com. Okay, pretty quick. So here you have this Amazon.com. You have so many buttons. So this is a little bit complex website. Amazon is a little bit complex because here the image is included as URLs. Okay, because this is the image, right? You can click this image, and when you click on this, you see this URL, a big URL, you know, shows up, and it navigates to the different web page. That means in an image there was an URL, but in the case in Google.com there's nothing like that. See this? This is the image, but there's no URL here. How do you know? Because of course there is an URL here. If you see this, this is the URL of Google.com, but this is not clickable. It's not clickable. See this? Can you click this? No. Okay, but here that is not the case in Amazon. So that's a one type of functionality. You understand that? I mean, that's one kind of functionality. So everything, whatever you see in the web page is a kind of functionality. So let me quickly show you another kind of functionality, typical functionality, what not every, you know, not every company has this functionality. Okay, so let's say, you know, whenever I hover my mouse, so pay attention to this. Okay, so whenever I hover your mouse, maybe you have seen 1,000 times, you know, you have done this million times, you know, you have shop on Amazon, you buy a lot of things, that's fine. Here's the thing, when you hover your mouse over department section, let's go to the department. This is, did you figure it out some functionality here? Did anyone figure it out some functionality here? Can anyone say anything happened here suddenly? Did something change?
Yeah, it view the list.
Okay, good. You got the list. Okay, that's yeah, that I can see that. I mean, you don't have to click this. That's the best part. You just need to hover your mouse. That's the best functionality I can say. I don't have to click on this. Anything else? So here, if you notice, when I hover my mouse over this department section, suddenly the, you know, the brightness, you know, the light brightness switched off. You know, it just it become dark. You see this? So that is also a functionality in an application. So there might be scenario. This is pretty much what do you say? It might be not so important or not so critical. Of course, it's not very mandatory or it's not negligible, but there might be, you know, requirement for this because they might not have implemented this until they have requirement, right? So they have implemented this because whenever you hover your mouse over department section, the whole back screen, I mean the light, you know, the brightness of the screen suddenly, you know, off. It suddenly switches off. So that's important functionality. Even that you may have to test. Once if you have a requirement saying that, okay, so this is the requirement, then you need to test. Is it switching off? You know, is it switching off the right time? Is it has to switch off or it's not? So on. Okay, so that is one more functionality. Okay, and that's a good that I don't have to click here. So that's, you know, could not be better than that. I just hover my mouse. You know, So these are all okay. So when I click this, is this functionality working? So all these web pages are displaying. So all this is comes under functional testing. Okay, so that's called functional testing. Okay, so in functional testing, you will be testing everything, not just header, footer, but the whole page. Okay, whole page, and okay, so it might be third-party URLs. You want, is that URLs working? You want to see this, so you want to make sure is that URL supposed to display on the same page, or in the or it has to open into a new tab or something. This is all based on the requirements. So sometimes there may not be a requirement of such, like they may not have detailed requirements. If you have any query, then you need to check with the lead and check. Okay, so because not always there will be a requirement. Okay, so this is all we need to test. Okay, as a functional testing. So what is functional testing? So this testing is to test functionality and features of an application. It might be a client application or web application. What is functionality and features? Functionality can be anything, like starting from buttons, URLs, edit box, text box, drop down buttons, radio buttons, so on. That's a functionality. Requirements is something which is a document which is have been documented, like which functionality has to work, which page has to navigate to which page, what is the URL it has to supposed to navigate, or is it a encrypted URL, and so on. So that's the requirement. So what is a requirement? So requirement is requirement is prepared by who? Business analyst. Okay, or product owner. And we'll go to that. We'll not just what is product owner. We'll go in moving forward. So for now, we'll worry about who prepares all these documents. Business analyst. Business analyst is the person who coordinates with the developer team, coordinates with the tester team, coordinates with the manager, coordinates with the business to get those documents right, and from there gives to the developer, and the developer develops an application, and from it comes to a tester, and tester tests that application. Okay. And here is the thing: these documents are everyone shares the same documents. There is there's different documents. If there's a BRD, let's say business requirement document, it is shared by the architect, it's shared by the project manager, it's shared by the developer, shared by the tester, shared by everyone. Okay, so same documents. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Any questions so far in functional testing?
Can you tell me difference between unit testing and white box testing?
Sure. So unit testing, so this is done by, okay, so first thing, it is done by the developers. Okay, and white box testing is actually high level testing. Unit testing is unit and a code. Just let me give you an example of this. Here we go to developer tools. So you have a lot of code here, right? So I'm not going to test everything. I'm going to test only one unit of this. So that's here. Okay, let's say I'm in charge of this, only this one code, because okay, this is unit. That means one unit of an application. Okay, so that's called unit testing.
I got it.
Okay. So this is just unit. I'm not worrying about what is HTML. No, I'm not, because that's not my job. Some other developer is working on it. But here, unit is just a small part in an application where I'll be testing it. That's unit testing. White box testing is a high level testing that includes unit testing. Okay. So let's move to the next one. Okay, integration testing. So in integration testing, okay, so let's say you are done with the functional testing, you know, you have successfully completed all functional testing, what are the features and all the functionalities and features and all things are done. Now, what happens, right? Now, client wants to integrate. So, you know, integration, right? They want to integrate one application into another application. Okay. So, you need to do integration testing. That means after combination of two applications into one. Okay. So, testing an integrated modules to verify combined functionality after integration. That's called integration testing. Let's put, you know, example on this. So, you know, let's take google.com. So this is one application, and this is made by one developers. I want to go to Google Apps. So they have integrated all these apps into just one. So they call it is what Google Apps. Okay, they call it Google Apps. I can access all the features of a Google just in Google Apps, and all this they have integrated in one small box, drop-down box called Google Apps. And because YouTube, Play, Drive, Gmail, all this, you know, the different developers they are working on, different people they are working on, but they have integrated all that into one. So now whenever it's just a moment of click, the moment I click this, it just navigates to that URL. So now you can say to me, okay, no, that's a big deal. They have just, you know, put that URL here and just, you know, icon there. That's it. That's not an integration. But here it is fine. But when it comes to third party, it's not easy because this is done by the different people, different code, and that is a different code. Okay, so now that is these guys might be using Python language or, you know, some, and those guys might use some .NET application and all those things. And now they are completely, you know, different world, and we are completely in different world. And now they want to integrate that into this is really different thing, because now client want to make sure after integration this code doesn't break, because two different things, right? So that's called integration testing. Okay, so let's go back here. So testing of integrated modules to verify the combined functionality. So they want to make sure after combining the two functionality, the code should not break. Both of those, I mean, after integrating this application and that application, two applications. Okay, so that's called integration testing. Okay, so the example is, you know, this is Google app example that they have integrated all this, and it's a moment of just, you know, click our button. The moment you click this, it just, you don't have to, you know, open one more browser and just type into that. You don't have to go all of that. Just click this button, and so that's called integration. And to test that is called integration testing. So let's move to the next one. Incremental integration testing. Okay, so here in the incremental integration, the apps keep on increasing. So here we have only, like, you know, 9, 10, okay, oh, sorry, 9, 10, 11 apps. Now I want to increase it, you know, more. You got more, so 10 apps. Okay, now even more. So this is called incremental. Oops, they changed whole the way it looks. So this is called incremental integration. There they have integrated the whole web page. Now everything is in one. Okay, so this is called incremental integration. They keep on adding these apps. They keep on growing. You need to keep on testing it. So okay, so that's called, it's keep on increasing, right? They had only just 12 apps. Now they have plenty of 20 to 30 apps. So on. Okay, so it keep on increasing. So that's called incremental integration testing. Okay, so continuous testing of an application, add a new functionality is added. Okay, so in that case you need to test each and every application, and also this application, that both applications are good. So all these applications should be tested. Okay, that means, is this URL working? Okay, okay, so we'll not be testing this whole web page because there will be some other testers. We need to test this URL and this URLs, mostly the URLs and the web page is displaying or not, all those things. Okay, so that's called incremental integration testing. So let's move to the next one. Okay, so system testing. System testing is like, you know, entire system is tested as per the requirements. So, you know, system in sense you have the system, right? Like, you know, whatever applications it is installed in your system. So this is more of a client applications. Okay, not you know, not really required for web application. This is for client application. Why? Because whatever the applications are installed in your system, okay, you need to test that. So that's called system testing. Not all of them. It's again based on the requirements. If the requirements say so, you need to do. Not just because say all, you know, you don't go as all. You need to check the requirements. Okay, because there are so many things which, you know, it's because there are so many people who will be working on so many things that should be tested. You may not require everything to be tested. We need to check requirements. If there is no requirement, the best guy to approach is your lead. If you are a lead, good. You need to approach business analyst. Okay, business analyst are let's say business analyst is not available. You can check with developer. Developer, you know, will have some idea. So so that's the system testing. Entire system is tested as per the requirement. Okay. So this system testing actually, you know, comes into sub part of black box testing. Okay, so as I told you, black box testing is a high level testing, and all these testings, functional testing, integration testing, all the system testing comes into black box testing. Okay, so it's actually, black box is actually, you know, mixture of various testing. That's what it means. Okay, so let's go to the next one. End-to-end testing. End-to-end testing is, you know, so it's pretty broad term in ETL. You know, so if you want to refer from ETL point of view, it's pretty broad, and it's you know, a lot of testers will be required just to do end-to-end testing. So we'll keep it simple. End-to-end testing is like from one end to another end. Okay, so from one end to other end. So what is from one end to other end? So let's say we start from sanity testing, smoke testing, functional testing, integration testing, okay, incremental integration testing. So all these testing are covered. Then you say end-to-end testing is done. Okay, so what is end-to-end testing? To, you know, to test from one end to another end. Okay, it's called end-to-end testing, and it also utilizes, you know, various such as interacting with database using network communications. So, see, if this is considered, then this ETL point of view, because if you're using an ETL, if you want to do end-to-end testing in that, there is QA in ETL. Okay, there is a QA in ETL because ETL also requires front end. Okay, so you need to make sure you know, QA is done, then the back end should be started. Okay, so it's, you know, it's kind of again you have this jobs to be completed, an ETL part. Okay, source testing is done, staging testing is done, target testing. So all testing is completed, then it's called end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing is from one end to other end. Testing from one end to other end. If it's completed, then it's called end-to-end testing. So it means testing of complete application in the environment, complete application. Okay, it also includes regression testing and, you know, everything. Okay, so let's move to, any questions so far? Let's move to the next one. Okay, so I know, okay, there is one more smoke testing, so it's not here. Okay, there's something called smoke testing. What is smoke testing? Smoke testing is, so, we want to make sure, okay, before going to smoke testing, right? Okay, so, um, okay, I want to explain you to various environments here because, there's a lot of environments here. Okay. So let me, give some idea on, what are this, what happens in actually, scenario when you want to start smoke testing. Not always you start smoke testing, only if if there is some specific projects, or you may also require in all other projects. It depends upon the clients, how they are implementing. Okay, so here's the thing. There is a 3 different environments. Okay, there's a 3 different environments. What are they? Dev environments, that is where the development actually codes. And the next is QA environment, where actually QA guy tests that application. Third is production environment, where nobody touches. Production environment is actually, it should be, no one actually, manually, nobody actually touches that production environment. That is actually the client who uses, client itself, customer uses that environment. Okay, so they can be in number of environments depending upon the requirement, whatever the client has. So 3 major important, 3 major environments, that is dev environment or development environment, where a developer actually codes an application or coding is to be done, is done in development environment. Testing environment, where the tester tests an application, or anything, like not just application and back-end work and anything. And third is production environment, where nobody actually touches that environment manually. Not always they touch it. It's not really advisable to touch anything because everything is automated in production. Nobody wants to mess with that, because if you are screwing something, it might be possibility that something else also gets screwed. So that's 3 environments. Okay, so what you do is, now the 3 different environments, 3 different databases, 3 different world, 3 different altogether, everything is 3 different things. So here what you do is you run build. Okay, so what is build? Let's say that code, whichever that developer has developed some code, right? Develop an application, it's running good in his machine. So that has to go to dev environment. So now it's going in dev environment too. Now that code has to move into test environment. So for that reason you need builds. Build 1, build 2, build 3. So that code, whatever new updates, that has to be moving forward. So from dev to test to prod. Okay, that's how it goes. Okay, so now there will be a builds. Those builds are handled by middleware team, not exactly from developer or testers. It's a middleware team who will take care of this. They will, once that build is issued, once the developer requests that, okay, my code is done, it's good in dev, they request that the middleware team, okay, go ahead and deploy in test environment. That code deploys in the test environment, right? That's how it works. Okay, so having been said, those environments, so we know about this environments. Now we'll go back to our smoke testing. Okay, what is smoke testing? To test an application is testable or not. To test an application is, so let's say developer said, okay, start testing. Okay, now you want to say, no, we want to start smoke testing first. Okay, we want to do smoke testing. That means, is the application testable or not? So that can we move forward with the functional testing or not? So normally what the smoke testing contains is a random testing. So just random. You want to see this button is working. Okay, good. This button is working. Okay, good. So okay, we can go forward with the functional testing. If the smoke testing is failed, you need to report to the developer saying that, hey, this smoke testing is failed. The smoke testing is failed, the developer has to fix that issue and deploy it again, I can request the build guy, to deploy it, and again, if you are working in agile, say, okay, 2 to 3 hours, okay. If you say, let's say you open the issue, you have talked to the developer, said, hey, our smoke testing has failed. No, we cannot move forward anymore because this was smoke testing. We are not really actually working on functional testing. That was for smoke testing. So the build is failed. No, please go ahead. I'm sorry, not build. Our smoke testing is failed. So please, can you look into it? So it's okay. Okay, no, the developer says, okay, I fixed that issue. We'll, wait for 3 hours. That will be by 3 p.m. and we can start testing by 3 p.m. Okay, so that's the smoke testing. The only difference between smoke testing and functional testing is you don't have test cases for smoke testing, really. Okay, you don't have test cases for smoke testing. You just do it randomly. Okay, let's move to the next one, sanity testing. So I'll just take 5 to 10 minutes. Does anyone have any issues? Just 5 to 10 minutes. We'll just complete this topics. Let me know if anyone have any issues. Okay, sanity testing. So to test an software version is, the software version is, if it is working or not. Okay, you want to test it. So let's take an example here. So let's see if this is working. So let's say there is we have this Firefox, right? Let's say that is an application. Firefox is an application, right? Oops, Firefox has changed. Okay, and I'm testing on this browser. So that this is a browser, and that's and what was that? I've tested in this browser. And I've tested in 52.0.2. Okay. Now before that it was like some around 51.0.1. So that is sanity testing. That means the different version, same application. That's what Firefox. Different version. I'm testing it. Is that application working or not? So that's called sanity testing, right? So to test, an new software version is performing well for the major testing effort. Okay, it's the same application, different version. Okay, the different version. Why? In sense, they fix some. There was some issue with that, and they fixed that code. But they want to make sure after fixing that code, something else doesn't break up. Because of this issue, something else may not, it should not break, right? It should not break the code. So that's the reason you need this sanity testing, because this version is working good, that version is also working good. So that's why you need this sanity testing to perform, on the version testing. Okay, so let's move to the next one, regression testing. So let's say you have completed all this testing, all testing is done. Now regression testing. So here what happens, right? So first case, why do we need this regression testing? So this regression testing is actually the automation testing. Okay, so this is automation. So normally tool will be using, we'll be using tool like what? Like QTP or Selenium, load runner. Okay, load runner is for performance, so we'll not worry on that. Selenium or QTP or UFT, okay, unified functional testing. So that tools are be used, for regression testing. Okay, because we have done so far what we were doing manual testing. That is just using our mouse, just buttons, clicking that buttons, clicking that images, clicking those URLs and all those things. Here you are not doing that. You are just using that tool, and the tool is scripted, a lot of script in that, and you are testing that. Okay, let me give you an example. Why do you need this regression testing? Okay, so let's say what happens, right? Developer actually, let's say you have done your testing. Okay, you have signed off. You have done with manual testing. Okay, you have signed off, and developer did some code change. Okay, they missed some semicolon or something like that. They added semicolon, they added all those things, and suddenly developer runs on your desk saying that, hey, can you start testing? We had that issue with the code and we fixed it. Can you start testing with this? So can anyone tell me what will be your response? So suddenly from nowhere, the developer runs on your desk and says, and can you start testing? And you actually finished your testing, you'll sign up, and in 2 weeks it has to go into production. So can anyone tell me what is your response in this? Okay, so now I would say, so I'll be like, are you kidding me? I have signed off, we have signed off. QA, we have done with QA. Now, if you want, just because you have changed some code, we need to retest the whole testing again. So that takes again 1 week of time. We don't have 1 week. We don't have resources. We don't do retesting. Basically, we don't do double testing. We have completed our QA. The only thing we can do is we can check in the regression team. If there is any issues, we can check with the regression testing, because the problem of some management people is like, they really don't maintain properly, because once the code has into test environment, the developer should not touch the code. They should not touch the code, but that's not being constant at every client places. So they don't care. The developers keep on adding the code, keep on changing the code, keep on putting the build, keep on going to testing. So that is really, pretty much makes the environment unstable, because sometimes this code is good, now it's really good, now it's really not working. So it's a lot of things. So that reason you need this regression testing, because okay, good, you have changed something, that's fine, we'll check in this regression testing next week. This week it's going to the regression testing, because 2 weeks it has to go into production. We cannot retest it. We don't have time, we don't have resources, we don't have we cannot do double testing, we cannot retest it again. So that's the reason you need this retesting. That's one of the reasons. And second, it's automation. Okay, whatever it thinks these are missed in manual will be caught here. Okay, because all the applications will be rerun by the code, and will be. So that's a regression testing. And regression testing is like all combined functionalities, everything, whatever is combined, everything will be tested. Integration testing, all those what we have done separately will be testing all at once. Okay, so let's stop here. So we'll continue tomorrow. So already took 5 minutes extra. Any questions so far?
Oh, your voice was up and down, so a lot of things I have missed. So I have to go back to it again and look for that.
Sure. So let me do this. Okay. You can. Now, if you want some, okay, I'll be giving you alternate video. Okay, that's fine. But if you have questions, you can call me. Okay. You can send me an email. You have email ID, right? Manu@itmerica.com. Send me an email, or you can call me. Okay. My number is it's 732-333-4781. Okay, it's first try to email me, because sometimes I'm not there. So I'll explain if you have not understood any part of this. Is that okay?
Yeah, I have one question actually. It might be stupid since I'm not in a IT background. You meant as a testing, I mean QA, we are working as a tester, isn't it?
Right.
So as you mentioned, unit testing and black box, white box white box. It is mostly handled by a developer. So what's the part of tester on that? Like, what tester have to do? Since it is handled by a developer.
Right. So yeah, this is nothing to do with the testers, but it's just for your knowledge that because sometimes your boss want to confuse you, but you see, this is the thing. Your boss really wants to confuse you every time. So okay, did you do the white box testing? So now if you don't know what the white box testing, now you'll be confused, right?
Yeah.
So, no, so then you need to explain your boss. No, so here's the thing. We are not doing white box testing because white box testing is done by the developers and not by the testers. So, that's a developer job. So you are asking a wrong guy. You need to ask with, okay. Then your boss would say, okay, that's okay.
Oh, so it's just for our knowledge. That's all.
That's right. It's for your knowledge, and and also because you will be face a lot of issues with your boss, because a boss will want to confuse you. So you need to make sure give them right answer for their wrong question. Okay.
Got it.
Any more questions?
So we'll get that record video and everything.
Yeah, now I'll be giving you this record video and one more good recording video too. Check either one, it should be good. The other recording, it should be good. If still you don't feel good, you can still call me. Okay, call me or first email me. Try to email me. Then we can set up a call whenever you're free, and I'll explain you which you not understood anything.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Any more questions?
Not really. That's all that like theoretical. So yeah, I think
Yeah, this tomorrow we'll have half theoretical, and we'll go tomorrow by we'll have some really good how to pick up bugs and how to report all those things. And I'll also start homework. So make sure you guys do homework not today, from tomorrow, so that you'll also have some ideas of how to start testing.
Yeah, homework will be absolutely fine. Actually, it will help us.
Okay.
Okay, so if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today?
Yeah, sure. I hope so.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you.